everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I wanted to come to you today and do a quick tutorial on this beautiful hat pattern. It's called the bead stitch hat, and I found this pattern online. I am going to alter this pattern by using a different size hook. This particular pattern had used an H hook, and it made the hat very small, like for a child. So I adjusted it. I will be using a 6.5 millimeter hook, and you'll need a darning needle, pair of scissors, and you'll need a pom-pom to put on the top of your hat. If you like, you can use the remaining yarn out of this ball, which is 190 yards, and you can make your own pom-pom. But I thought this was very pretty. For round one, we need to start by making a magic ring. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, you are going to take your yarn, make a cross. You see that? Turn your hand around and hold that yarn there. And you're going to go underneath with your crochet hook, and you pull this up and twist. And then you're going to take this working yarn that I let slip. And then you're going to pull it and guide it through this hole right here. I never really liked making the magic ring, but you put it through just like that. Pull your fingers out, and you are going to take this end right here and unknot that. You see? We are going to now chain 2, 1, 2. So this is what your work should look like right now. And we need to make 10 double crochets into this ring. We are going to work over the ring and that end piece. So you hold those together, you yarn over as usual, and then you're going to make your double crochet just like so. And I'll show you again. Yarn over. This is exactly how it looks. Now that chain 2 that we just did does not count as a stitch. So make sure that you do 10 double crochets, not counting that chain 2. And as you go around, you can take this end piece here, and then you can pull just like so. Now when I meet you at the end of this first round, you should have 10 double crochet. We're at the end of round 1, and we are going right into the top of that chain 2. We're going to make a slip stitch, and we need to chain 2. Now that we're on round 2, we need to put 2 double crochet in each stitch. So we'll go start right there. 1, 2. Next stitch, we'll do 2 double crochet. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now you repeat this all the way around. Now meet you at the end. Now that we're at the end of round 2, we are going to slip stitch at the top of that chain 2. You should have counted 20 double crochet. We'll chain 2, 1, 2, and for round 3, we are going to do a double crochet into 2 double crochet into that first stitch. 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet into the next. This is our repeat pattern. 2 double crochet in this stitch, and 1 double crochet in this stitch. Continue that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. Now that we've come to the end of round 3, we have 2 double crochet to put in here and 1 double crochet here if you haven't already done so. So this is 1, 2 double crochets in this stitch, and 1 right here in the next stitch. And we will do a slip stitch in the top of this chain 2. Now for round 4, we will do chain 2, 1, 2. We have to do 2 double crochet in the first stitch right here. 1 and 2, like so. And then we do 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So here's 1 in this stitch and 1 in this stitch. So the repeat pattern is 2 double crochet. So here's 1, 2, and 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So continue that pattern of 2 double crochet in 1 stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. Now that we've come to the end of row 4, you should have 40 double crochet. So what is remaining is 2 double crochet in this space and 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'll get this done. There's 1, 2 double crochets in that stitch, and 1 here, and 1 in the last stitch. And as usual, we will slip stitch in the top of that chain, and we are going to chain 2. There we go. 1, 2. Now for round 5, we need to do 2 double crochet in the first stitch, 1, 2, and 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet in this stitch. I need to fix my yarn. And 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1. The next stitch will be 2. See, and this one, that'll be 3. Repeat pattern, 2 double crochet in 1 stitch and 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. That is the repeat pattern for round 5. Continue around and I'll meet you at the end. We've come to the end of round 5, and there will be 2 double crochet in this stitch here, and you should have 3 individual crochets to put in those 3 stitches. If you already completed that portion, go ahead and slip stitch into the top of that chain. And then chain 2. 1, 2. And for round 6, we need to put 2 double crochet in this first stitch. 1, 2. And then we put 1 double crochet into the next 4 stitches. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and the last individual stitch would make 4. So that's your repeat pattern. 2 double crochet here and a double crochet in the next 4 stitches. And I'll meet you back at the end of the round. All right, we've come to the end of round 6, and I completed this 2 double crochet here and a double crochet in the last 4, and we are going to slip stitch in the top and do a chain 2, 1, 2, and this time we are going to do half double crochets. And we will do a half double crochet in each stitch around. Now continue on with your half double crochets, and by the end of this round you should have 60. So put a half double crochet in each stitch around, and I'll meet you up at the end. Now that we've come to the end of round 7, you should have 60 half double crochets. We are going to slip stitch in the top of this chain here. And we will chain 2, 1, 2. And we will do a half double crochet in the 3rd loop in each stitch around. So we'll go here, put a half double crochet right in there. You saw that in that space. And we are going to put a half double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. And when we finish, we should have 60 half double crochets. I'll meet you at the end of the round. Now that we've come to the end of round 8, we are going to do a slip stitch in the top of this chain here, and we will chain 2, 1, 2, and we are going to put a half double crochet in each stitch around, just as in the previous round. So we'll go in the back here into that 3rd loop and make a half double crochet. We'll do this all the way around, and when you get to the end of the round, you should have 60 half double crochets. And this is what it should look like. I'll see you at the end. Now that we've come to the end of round 9, you should have 60 half double crochets. I am going to do a slip stitch in the top of this chain, and we will chain 1 like so. Now we need to put 2 single crochet into the 3rd loop. So this is 1. You go back in there and make another single crochet, 2. And in the next 14 stitches, we need to make 1 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So for round 10, our repeat pattern is 2 single crochet in 1 stitch and 1 double crochet in the next 14. I'll meet you back at the end of the round. Now that we've come to the end of round 10, we should have 64 single crochets. We are going to do a slip stitch in the top of this chain here, like so. And we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. Okay. Now I brought this hat out just so you can look and see where we are with the pattern. The top of the hat is finished and we're going to start working on the bead work. So once we've made our chain 2, which we've already done, we'll go into this first stitch here and we're going to do a double crochet. Like so. And what we're going to do now is start working around this post. So we'll yarn over, we go around this post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around that post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around that post, and pull up a loop. You should have 7 loops on your hook. Once you have 7, you yarn over and you're going to pull through all 7. It might be a little difficult, so you just work your hook through. Next, you'll skip the next stitch and then you'll make 1 double crochet. Then you'll yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 1. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop. That's 3. So you should have 7 loops on your hook. You see that? There's 3, there's 6, and there's 7. And then you yarn over, and then you pull through all 7. So just remember, you'll have to yarn over 3 times. It'll make it easier for you to remember. Skip this stitch, make a double crochet in the next. So you'll yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop. There's 7 loops on your hook. So you do that 3 times when you yarn over, and that's when you know. And if you want, you can just count, and then you know that you have 7 loops on your hook. Skip the next stitch, double crochet. Okay, now just do yarn over, go around the post, bring up a loop. That's 1. Yarn over, go around the post, bring up a loop. That's 2. Yarn over, go around that post, pull up a loop. That's 3. So then you have 7 loops on your hook. See that? Yarn over and go through all 7, just like that. So we will repeat this pattern all the way around. Remember, you must skip a stitch, and then you double crochet, and then you'll yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around the post, pull up a loop. Pull through all 7. Continue that around, and I'll meet you at the end of the round. Now that we've come to the end of round 11, you should have 32 of these cute little puffs. We are going to make a slip stitch in the top of this chain here, and we are going to chain 2. Come on, get in there. There we go. 1, 2. Now we are going to put a half double crochet in each stitch around. Half double crochet in every stitch. Just like so. And continue this around. When you get to the end of round 12, you should have 64 half double crochets. Now that we've come to the end of round 12, we are going to do a slip stitch in the top of this chain here. You should have 64 half double crochets, and we are going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now we're going to start working in the 3rd loop again. So this is the first, the second, and then we have to turn over in the back. You see, that's the 3rd loop. So we're going to put half double crochets in each one of those around. Just like so. Did you all see that? I'm working the 3rd loop, working 1 half double crochet, and this makes that pretty pattern around the hat. This is round 13. And once you finish your half double crochets in the 3rd loop, I will meet you back at the end of the round. Now we've come to the end of round 13, and you should have 64 half double crochets. We are going to slip stitch in the top and chain 2, 1, 2. And we are going to put 1 half double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. So we will do the same as last round, 1 half double crochet in that 3rd loop. I'll meet you at the end of the round. Now that we've come to the end of round 14, you should have 64 half double crochets. We are going to slip stitch, and we are going to chain 1, and we will single crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch. So 1 single crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch. Continue on, and I will meet you at the end of the round. Now that we've come to the end of round 15, you should have 64 single crochets. We'll slip stitch right here, and we are going to work the puffs all the way around. So we will chain 2, 1, 2, and then we'll do 1 double crochet into the first stitch, right next to that chain 2. Remember, we yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and remember you have 7 loops on your hook, and you are going to pull through all 7. We'll skip this next stitch. We'll do a double crochet. Now we have to work around the post. That's 1, 2, 3, 7 loops on that hook, and we are going to pull through all 7 of these. There we go. Skip the next stitch. We do a double crochet. Going to work around the post, yarn over, go around that post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around that post, pull up a loop, yarn over, go around that post, pull up a loop. 7 loops on your hook, yarn over, and you pull through all 7. Here we go. Skip the next stitch, then do a double crochet in the next. So we'll yarn over, remember, pull up a loop, that's 1, pull up a loop 2, pull up a loop 3, and pull through all 7. And if you have to just kind of work it around a little bit, you can to make it through. Skip the next stitch, double crochet. This is the last time. Okay, yarn over, pull up a loop, 1, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, 3. So remember, you have to do that 3 times, and then you pull through all 7 loops. And I don't like that one, so I'm going to redo it because there was a snag. So if you get that, just take it down and do it again. So that's 1, 2, 3. Much better. I'll meet you at the end of the round. You should have 32 of these puffs. Now that we come to the end of row 16, you should have 32 of these beautiful puffs, and we're going to do a slip stitch at the top of this chain, and we're going to chain 2. 1, 2, and we are going to put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch around. Just like so. Continue around, and at the end of this round you should have 64 half double crochets. For round 18, we are to chain 2, and we are going to half double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch. So we'll turn this back here, and you see that? That's where we're going into. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So complete this row, and when you come to the end of round 18, I'll come back. We've come to the end of round 18, so this is the last one. Oops. So you should have 64 total half double crochets, and we are going to slip stitch in the top of this chain. Okay, now we're on round 19. We'll chain 2. And same as round 18, we are going to put half double crochets, 1 in each. So we'll go right into this one, the 3rd loop right there. See that? And we'll put 1 in there in this first stitch. And this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and continue this around 1 half double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch around, and I'll meet you at the end. We've come to the end of round 19. We have 1 more stitch, and this is 64 half double crochets. We'll slip stitch in the top of this chain here. For round 20, we'll chain 2, 1, 2, and we are going to do a double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch. So this one right here, the back of it, the 3rd loop. See that? Just make 1 double crochet in the 3rd loop of each stitch around. Just like so. See how that looks? Continue around, and I'll meet you back at the end. You should have 64 double crochets. We've come to the end of round 20, and I am putting the last double crochet into the stitch for a total of 64 double crochets, and we are going to slip stitch in the top of this chain here, and we will chain 2. We need to put a front post double crochet in the first 2 double crochets. So here's 1 and 2. In the next stitch, we'll put 1 back post double crochet. So this is the repeat for this round. 2 back post double crochets, 1, 2, and 1 back post double crochet. Follow it all the way around, and I'll meet you back at the end. We've come to the end of round 21, and there is 1 double crochet left, and that is going to be a front post double crochet, and then we can slip stitch to join in the top of that chain. just like so. You should have 64 double crochets around. We are going to chain 2 and go on to round 22, and we will continue on by making 2 front post double crochets and 1 back post double crochet. Two front post double crochets and 1 back post double crochet. Two front post double crochets and 1 back post double crochet, and continue around, and I'll meet you at the end of round 22. We've come to the end of round 23, and we have 1 front post double crochet left, and we will slip stitch in the top of this chain here. This is the last round for this hat. We will chain 2, 1, 2, and we will do 1 last row of the front post, 2 front post double crochets and 1 back post double crochet. So here's 1, 2 front post double crochets and 1 back post double crochet. That's the repeat pattern for this round. Continue all the way around, and I will meet you at the end to finish off the hat and also to sew on the pom-pom. We have come to the end of round 23, and we have 1 more front post double crochet to do. This will be a total of 64 double crochets. So we'll slip stitch into the top of this stitch, and we will cut our yarn so we can fasten off like so. Get your darning needle. And we'll just weave in the ends back and forth like so. And I am going to take this, instead of going back and forth, I'm going to go inside. I always like this technique because I just feel like the yarn would be much more secure and prevent it from coming out. So I'll just weave it in down this way, and then I'll bring it back up, and you can also decide whether or not you actually want to make your own pom-pom using this beautiful Impeccable yarn, or if you would like to buy your own. I already had some on hand, and I purchased it from Amazon. I need to find that link so I can put it in the description box for you all to purchase if you like. And we are just going to cut this yarn just like so. And you see, this is the pom-pom in a bag of pom-poms I bought. There is a long tail that I will be using in a moment, but I want to measure this before I put the pom on so you can see how big this hat is. Okay, so let's just move that from the top of the hat, see right there, all the way down to the end. I'll have to slide it up, and it's a little bit shrinking a little bit. but can you all see that? That's about 10 inches from top to bottom, and then across is 9 inches. See that? So then you'll know how big the hat is. This is a great size for an adult hat. Now what I want to do is I want to take that long tail that I have and take the darning needle, thread it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push it through towards the front of the hat so I can attach the pom-pom. You see, all I'm going to do is go through that hole there, bring it up front, you see that? And this pom-pom has a little, it's hard for it to find. It has a little, there it is, white. Can you see that? White elastic right there. So we're going to just take this needle, push it through like so, and then I am going to just run it underneath there, just like so, and just move the little fibers out of the way. And then what we're going to do is we are going to thread it back down into the center. And you have to be careful and make sure that you don't put it back in the hole that you brought it through originally. And see, that's going to pull the pom-pom, push the pom-pom there, down there. Okay, and what we're going to do is we can make a nice little knot. That's what I'm going to do. See how I did that? And you might want to just kind of, I think I'm just going to put it through like I normally do with the other pom-poms. This pom-pom is a little bit different because usually I make my own, but let me see if I can go through this. Would be good to know. It's difficult. So without further ado, we will just kind of thread it back and forth here. This technique is entirely up to you, but I usually make my own pom-poms, and when I bought the assortment bag, I said one day I'm going to use them, and I thought this hat would just be perfect for that. Okay. I know this is taking a little long, so please bear with me. I just want to make sure that the pom-pom is secure. So it's still kind of loose a little bit, not to my liking. I don't like that. So I am going to have to grab a little bit of this pom-pom, and you have to feel for it. And now I know how I'm going to do it. And just thread it through. Because what you want is, you want this pom-pom to be secure. So let's see if that's better. Yeah, that's better. And just thread it like that. Just go down into it and bring it up. Now, I feel better about this. Now I can just make a nice little knot. And then cut off the excess. Just go back and forth a few times. Here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Just gonna go right back through there. And then cut my yarn. Awesome. Another project complete. This is wonderful. I really enjoyed doing this hat pattern, and I hope you did also. You see, it is really nice and secure all the way around. Just take your time when you're doing the project. Look at that. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So I hope you do too. If you enjoy doing this tutorial with me, just like and subscribe, and I look forward to bringing you more videos. Have a wonderful day crocheting. I had to come back because I wanted to let you all know that this hat right here, I used one ball of the Impeccable yarn. It is 190 yards for that one ball, which is 174 meters, and this is what I have left. So you know that if you want to do a matching scarf or cowl, which I'll probably do to match this beautiful hat, then you are going to at least need 2 balls. But this one ball of yarn, 190 yards, made this hat right here with a little yarn to spare. Okay, ta-ta for now.